just amazing. Dinosaurs walked the Earth hundreds of millions of years ago, and apart from the fossils we find, we have very limited information about them. To date, we've discovered approximately 700 different species of dinosaur, and we're still digging. For now, though, we've discovered some very impressive species, from the biggest to the smartest to the creepiest to the most unusual. Join me for today's video as we take a look at the top 10 most amazing types of dinosaurs. Number 10. Argentinosaurus, the biggest. Dinosaurs have a reputation for being some of the biggest animals that ever walked the Earth. But when it comes to sheer size, the biggest of all was the amazing Argentinosaurus. First discovered in Argentina in 1987, its discovery was groundbreaking. The Argentinosaurus is classified as a titanosaur, which is the largest of all dinosaurs. But the size of the dinosaur exceeds even the largest of the titans. So just how big was this giant of dinosaurs? It's estimated that it was around 115 feet long and weighed upwards of 73 tons. The Argentinosaurus lived during the Cretaceous period, which was about 92 to 100 million years ago. Behemoth, colossal, mind-bogglingly big, the Argentinosaurus is one of the largest known land animals to ever exist, and by some estimates, the largest. Number 9. Utahraptor, the second deadliest. The mighty Utahraptor is not a dinosaur that you'd ever want to meet in real life. Vicious, smart, dangerous, and large, this lethal hunter is a massive raptor and holds the title of the biggest raptor to ever walk the Earth. The Utahraptor was around 25 feet from tail to head and weighed upwards of 2,000 pounds. And like all raptors, it was a skilled hunter. Raptors all have large single claws on each of their hind feet. These claws are curved, and they allow raptors to slash, slice, and disembowel their prey. Raptors were vicious and are known for being some of the fiercest dinosaurs around, but because the Utahraptor was so large, it was especially dangerous. It had all the violent attributes of raptors plus size in its corner, so it was a force to be reckoned with. The Utahraptor lived about 125 million years ago and was first discovered in Utah, hence the name. It's widely considered to have been one of the most dangerous and deadliest dinosaurs in existence. Number 8. Psittacosaurus, the cutest. Cute might not be what comes to mind when you think of dinosaurs, but pictures of the Psittacosaurus clearly show that some dinosaurs were just downright adorable. With its friendly-looking face, the Psittacosaurus looks cute enough to keep as a pet. It was a relative of the Triceratops, and its name means parrot lizard. The dinosaur featured a beak-like mouth that it used to crack open nuts and forage for seeds and fruit. But this poor little dinosaur couldn't chew its food, so it swallowed rocks alongside its dinner. The rocks or pebbles helped to break up the food in its stomach. The Psittacosaurus also had large feet and a thick tail, and scientists believe that it was probably a pretty good swimmer. In 2004, the remains of 25 young Psittacosauruses were found huddled together, so scientists believe that these cute little dinosaurs may have gathered together in groups for protection, especially when they were young. Perhaps even they cuddled. Man, what a cuteness overload. Number 7. Heterodontosaurus, the creepiest. When it comes to overall creepiness in dinosaurs, the amazing Heterodontosaurus wins, hands down. Why? Well, for starters, its mouth was full of 3 different types of teeth. Oversized canines called tusks, small peg-like teeth, and an entire row of squarish ones. So its mouth was basically a nightmarish mess. Scientists believe that these 3 different types of teeth allowed for this creepy dinosaur to tear, bite, and grind its way through its prey with ease. Next, they had 5 fingers on each hand, and 2 of them were opposable, so this dinosaur could really hold and grasp things. Its forelimbs were long and robust, and its hind limbs were long and slender. It was first discovered in South Africa in 1961, and given its wide range of teeth, its name means different-toothed lizard, which is a pretty straightforward name for this creepy dinosaur of many different teeth. Number 6. Troodon, the smartest. The Troodon dinosaur was a coelurosaurian dinosaur, which means it belongs to the same evolutionary group as modern birds. The Troodon was fairly small, but it had a remarkably large brain, leading scientists to believe that it was likely one of the smartest dinosaurs to ever live, if not the smartest. The Troodon walked on its 2 hind legs and had large eyes that gave it good vision for hunting, even during the night. It lived around 76 million years ago in what is now North America. Its name, Troodon, means wound tooth because it has razor-sharp teeth. It was a carnivore and mainly used its intelligence, speed, and above-average eyesight to catch its prey. It's believed that this intelligent dinosaur may have hunted in packs, increasing its odds of a good catch. It's also believed that it laid 2 eggs at a time, buried them, and then sat on them to protect them. And while it's impossible to know for sure, all of these attributes point to an exceptionally smart dinosaur by dinosaur standards. Now, if we could only find what this massive dinosaur used that massive brain for. Number 5. Dromaeosaurus, the fastest. The name Dromaeosaurus means emu mimic because they have a lot of features that are similar to modern-day emus, but their real claim to fame in the dinosaur world was its speed. It's believed that they could run at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, making them the fastest dinosaurs around. Given this fact, the Dromaeosaurus had a leg up on predators since it could simply outrun them. This sprinter of a dinosaur got its speed from its long legs and really strong feet. It likely didn't use its speed to hunt though, since it mainly ate smaller creatures that weren't overly hard to catch. The Dromaeosaurus were omnivores that fed off small rodents, eggs, lizards, and assorted vegetation. They were pretty tiny by dinosaur standards, measuring in at about 12 feet long and 4 feet tall. They were bipedal and had long, slender necks, a toothless beak, and really large eyes. They mainly lived in the tropical forests during the late Cretaceous period. Number 4. Oculodentorus, the smallest. Go big or go home is a common mentality when it comes to dinosaurs, but contrary to popular belief, some dinosaurs were pretty small. In fact, the group called Compsognathus are all pretty dinosaurs in comparison to most dinosaurs, and some little dinosaurs like the Mosasaurus, which means mouse lizard, were only about 16 inches long. But a recent discovery has led to an even smaller dinosaur. Behold, the Oculodentorus, the itty-bitty dinosaur that holds the title of the smallest dinosaur. The fossil skull of this tiny dinosaur was found inside a drop of amber. It had been preserved for 99 million years. The skull is only a half-inch long, and this has led scientists to believe that this little dinosaur was actually smaller than the bee hummingbird, which is the world's smallest modern bird. For a while, it was the only fossil scientists had, but a little while later another fossil was found, and this one had more body parts, so scientists were able to better understand this dainty dinosaur. Its name means eye-tooth bird. There is some debate as to whether or not the Oculodentorus is a dinosaur or a lizard, but most sources suggest it was in fact a dinosaur. The Oculodentorus came from the Mesozoic era and was discovered in Myanmar. It had a lot of teeth, which led scientists to believe it was predatory. It also had fairly large eyes, but unlike modern birds, its eyes were on either side of its head, not forward-facing. Little else is known about this tiniest of dinosaurs, and its fossils are still being studied. But one thing's pretty clear, a dinosaur that had a head the size of your pinky fingernail is pretty amazing. Number 2. Triceratops, the most common. If dinosaurs were to hold a popularity contest, then Triceratops might come out on top, at least from our perspective. The Triceratops is one of the most well-known, most easily recognizable, and mostly recovered dinosaurs of them all. They lived about 68 million years ago, and its name means three-horned face. Its iconic bony frill and those 3 horns on its head make it one of the most ubiquitous dinosaurs when it comes to cartoons, drawings, movies, museums, and anything else dinosaur-related. And while other dinosaurs like the T-Rex are also very popular, there were simply more depictions, more images, and more remains of the Triceratops than any other dinosaur. The Triceratops was first described in 1889 by Othniel Charles Marsh, and since then the Triceratops has become a legend in the dinosaur world. And rightfully so, as the Triceratops boasts some pretty amazing features. They have one of the largest heads of any land animal, which is a good thing since it needs to support those 3 horns. The Triceratops can have as many as 800 teeth, since it uses those teeth to munch on fresh veggies. They likely used that size and strength to knock down trees when they wanted to get leaves that were higher up. They could weigh upwards of 24,000 pounds and grow to lengths of 30 feet. And that interesting frill around its neck, well, it likely used that to defend itself against predators like the massive T-Rex. And although this popular dinosaur wouldn't hunt any other animals, it was probably pretty good at defending itself. Along with its frill, it also had those horns, plus its size and weight made it a fairly formidable foe. Number 2. The Stegosaurus, the most perplexing. The Stegosaurus was a pretty big dinosaur that lived in the late Jurassic period about 150 million years ago. It was first discovered in 1877, and while scientists can successfully deduce a lot of information about the Stegosaurus, there's one thing that has left them scratching their heads. It also happens to be the same thing that makes the Stegosaurus so amazing. Yep, it's those plates. The Stegosaurus had diamond-shaped plates lined up and down its back. The plates varied in size but could be as big as 2 feet by 2 feet. But what do they use those plates for? Well, that's still being debated by paleontologists. Some believe that the Stegosaurus may have used those plates for defense against predators. It also had 4 sharp spikes on its tail, which could be used to injure enemies. So perhaps a combination of spikes and plates that helped the animal protect itself. And others believe that the plates were for show. It's possible that the Stegosaurus used those plates to intimidate predators, or even as a way to attract other dinosaurs. And still others believe that the plates were used to help the Stegosaurus regulate its body heat. Because the plates had a large surface area, the wind could help cool off the dinosaur's blood. And while these theories are all plausible and possible, the fact of the matter is we simply don't know yet. The only thing we know for sure is that regardless of what the plates were actually for, they look pretty cool. The Stegosaurus was an herbivore. It was about 30 feet long and about 14 feet tall. It likely walked with its tail high in the air, and its forelegs were smaller than its hind legs, which meant it wasn't likely a very fast runner. It's very probable that Stegosaurus stuck together and grazed in groups. Its name means roof lizard or covered lizard, and it was named for the perplexing plates on its back. It also had a really small brain, like really small, so some scientists believe that the Stegosaurus was probably the dumbest of all the dinosaurs. Before we reveal our #1 most amazing type of dinosaur, we have a couple of honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. The Pachycephalosaurus, the most unique. The Pachycephalosaurus was an unusual dinosaur that roamed the Earth around 100 million to 65 million years ago. The name Pachycephalosaurus means thick-headed lizard, which this dinosaur definitely was. It's known for having a uniquely shaped head. On top of its head, it had a bony dome. This dome could have been as thick as 10 inches, which is more than 30 times thicker than that of our modern-day human skull. Needless to say, this dome definitely protected the dinosaur's small brain. But what else did it do? Well, some scientists believe that those dinosaurs used those thick skulls to chase off rival mates, but that's just a theory. In any case, the skull is so unique that when it was first discovered, scientists thought it was actually a kneecap. It took some time before they pieced together the fact that this strangely shaped bone was in fact part of a skull. The Pachycephalosaurus also had bony knobs along the sides of its skull and in the front, making it all the more weird and unique. Utahraptor, the OG dinosaur. Some dinosaurs get a lot more attention than others, but it's a little surprising that the amazing Utahraptor doesn't get a bit more press. Why? Because this is the OG of dinosaurs. The Utahraptor is widely considered to be the world's first dinosaur. Its name means dawn plunderer, and it lived during the Triassic period around 230 million years ago. The Utahraptor had a thin body, and like a lot of the earlier dinosaurs, it wasn't that big. It's believed that the Utahraptor only weighed about 10 kilograms. The dinosaur was bipedal and its forelimbs were only half as long as its hind legs. It had clawed digits at the end of its forelimbs, and it likely used those claws to catch prey. It was likely omnivorous, and it was first discovered in 1991 in Argentina, and in 1993 it was declared one of the world's earliest dinosaurs. We may of course discover older dinosaurs as we keep digging, but for now the general consensus is that Utahraptor signaled the start of the age of the dinosaurs on Earth. #1. T-Rex, the king. Images of the T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus rex are synonymous with dinosaurs in general. This is because the T-Rex is hands down the most widely recognized and most famous of all the dinosaurs. The T-Rex lived during the Cretaceous period around 65 million years ago in what is now Canada and the United States. Its name comes from the Greek and Latin words for tyrant lizard king, which is a pretty spot-on description of this behemoth dinosaur. The T-Rex was a carnivore through and through, and it had a way of ripping right through the flesh of any prey unlucky enough to find itself in the T-Rex's path. They had 50 to 60 teeth, and those teeth were the size of bananas. The largest T-Rex tooth ever found was 12 inches long. And with those teeth, a T-Rex could tear off up to 100 kilograms of flesh in just one bite. It was fast, too. It's believed that the T-Rex could run upwards of 17 miles an hour, which isn't as fast as some other dinosaurs, but fast enough to catch more than its fair share of food. They had massive hind legs, and it's believed that they would have charged at their prey out of the undergrowth, leaving their prey very little time to react. They also had very flexible necks, which helped them angle their heads to adjust how they attacked. They were upwards of 40 feet long and were one of the largest meat eaters that ever lived. And if its sheer volume and massive teeth weren't enough to strike fear in the hearts of any and all other dinosaurs, the T-Rex was also pretty smart. Its brain was twice as big as other giant carnivores. There's a reason the T-Rex continues to capture our imaginations and fascinate us. It truly was the king of all dinosaurs, which is why the iconic and terrifying T-Rex has earned the top spot on this list of the top 10 amazing dinosaurs. Thanks for watching Just Amazing. Click to watch our previous video.